Welcome viewers to 999 part 8. My throat is kind of crapping out on me now. And it's just after the last episode. As obvious by this little would you like to quit thing. Anyway though, let's not quit. The door had opened. A narrow hallway stretched out before them. Seven and Clover leapt through the door. The moment they did, their bracelets beeped. The detonators in their bracelets had been activated. Junpei stepped forward to follow them. But as he was about to step over the threshold, he stopped. He looked to his right, towards door 8. June stood there, a mirror image of Junpei. She turned and looked towards him. Their eyes met. They nodded. Their farewell took almost 1.5 seconds. Then someone took hold of Junpei's arms and hobbled him bodily through the door. He heard the sound of the numbered door slam shut behind him. His bracelet gave him a cold electronic beep.
Only 81 seconds left. No time to waste, guys. Let's get moving.
Seven led the way down the hallway. Dear God, this episode's gonna be fucking hell on my throat. Junpei and Clover followed him as fast as they could. After what seemed like far more than 81 seconds, they reached the end of the hall. To the left of a wooden door, they found the dead. There was no time to rest or catch their breath. All three slammed their hands in quick succession over the scanner panel on the dead. Panting. I'm not going to vocalize that. Still trying to catch his breath, Seven leaned heavily against the wall.
It stopped. It stopped.
His smile seemed forced and a little crooked.
This is the second time we've gone through one of these numbered doors, but you really never get used to it.
He stood up straight, no longer out of breath, and wiped some of the sweat from his head and neck. Clover smirked at him. I would have thought a guy your age. Goddamn. Gravelly deep, high, almost nasalish, and then my voice. I'm sorry, but this is gonna be a hell of a fucking section to do. I would have thought a guy your size would have had bigger balls than that.
What? What the hell did you just say? Say it again, I dare you.
You have no...
You wanna die?
I'd like to see you try.
You fucking brat. Alright, let's go.
Hey, calm down, you guys. This isn't the time for, this. It's not gonna do us any good. Gosh. Junpei sighed. Sometimes he wondered if the doors and the puzzles were really the greatest challenge they faced. Wait here for a minute, alright? I'm gonna go see if there's any other doors. They didn't respond, but Junpei wasn't in the mood for a conversation anyway. First, he examined the inner part of the numbered door. It was, of course, shut tight. On the left was a single short hallway that terminated almost immediately at a thick iron wall. Junpei doubted the wall could be moved. At last he gave up and returned to Seven, who was tapping lightly on the wooden door.
This door's the only option we got, right?
Yeah, looks like it. There was a metal plaque bolted above the door. It read operating room. If it was to be believed, the room on the other side of the door was an operating room, obviously. Something about it made Junpei feel nervous.
Well, there's no point in standing around. Might as well go in and see what's waiting for us.
Seven grabbed the brass knob and moved and slowly opened the door. The creak of the hinge sounded like the groan of an old woman. A chill snaked its way down Junpei's spine. Quickly he gathered what courage he could and took the first step into the room. Seven followed, with Clover right behind him. Part of the room just past the door was obscured by a screen. Clover's curiosity got the better of her, and she darted past Junpei to peer around the screen. A screaming noise. Her scream nearly blew out Junpei's eardrums. He and Seven ran towards Clover to see what had frightened her. They rounded the screen, and the cause of her outburst was immediately clear.
What the hell is this?
Is this a corpse? It was something that looked kinda like a human, lying across some sort of bed. No, not a bed. An operating table. The table sat on a rusty steel lift, and a cluster of bright operating lights shone down upon it from the ceiling. Slowly they approached. As they got closer to the body, it became clear that it wasn't a body at all. What the hell? It's just a huge doll, or something. A doll? Clover did not look terribly comforted. Slowly she approached the operating table and looked as intently as possible from as far away as possible at the thing. Junpei could see her relax. You're right. It's only a doll. Man, it really scared me. She heaved a great sigh of relief and wiped a few drops of sweat from her forehead. Seven smirked.
Well, I guess it would have been weird if you actually had any balls.
Shut it! Don't you start with me, fatty.
Oh, what's this? You want a piece of me, short stuff?
Yeah, bring it on, you whale. Hey, not again, okay? Seriously, knock it off. Junpei sighed and shook his head. Anyway, it looks like he's got something that the two of you could stand to have a little more of. I'm talking about a heart.
Huh? Oh, this? You mean on his chest?
Yeah. It was set a little higher than normal for a human body, but from the shape of the organ, there could be no doubt that it was a heart. Why would there be a heart in a doll? I don't think it's a doll. You think maybe it's like a medical mannequin or something?
Or maybe it's got more personal uses.
Seven's grin was more than a little perverted. Clover glared at him.
Anyway!
How about we take a look around the place? Let's go. Okay.
Sure thing.
These dolls are really kind of creepy, you know?
Hey, it says something here.
John? You think that's this doll's name? Maybe. This thing is creepy.
I wonder why it's on the bed.
Hey, I wonder what this thing is. It says KG on the display.
You think maybe it's a scale?
A medical mannequin with its guts showing. Ew, gross.
Hey Junpei, there's a slit in this thing's chest.
Yeah, sure is.
There's something in there. Maybe we can get it out. Damn it! Stinking thing won't budge. It's stuck.
Well, I guess you can't use force on this one then. We need something small that can fit in that little hole. Euphemisms. Even though it wasn't really a euphemism. None of this other stuff looks useful.
Yeah, it's all pretty rusty.
An internal organ, specifically a lung. You can see this thing's internal organs. If we had something that could fit into those cracks, maybe we could take out some of the internal organs. Damn it. A partition. Nothing suspicious about it. A white cloth. Another medical mannequin?
From the looks of it, this one's a chick.
She has a name too. Lucy.
Poor thing. Looks like Miss Lucy only has a head and a left arm.
Maybe we're supposed to gather all of her parts. Kosher forceps. Well, let's search these, by the way.
A scalpel that's not rusty.
Seems like it was put here for a reason, huh? You think it's telling us to cut something? Yeah, I do. Kosher forceps. Are those scissors? They look kind of funny.
No, that's probably a pair of kosher forceps. Surgeons use them during operations. They can hold blood vessels shut and keep tissues out of the way. We can use it to pull stuff out of small holes or something like that.
That makes it really obvious what we gotta do with this thing. We gotta cut a bitch. Not really. Fake organ. So we took the organ thingy out of the chest thingy.
It's a lung, not an organ thingy.
Huh? This part here on the back, it's all rubbery.
You're right.
So? It's a fake organ. Of course it'd be... Wait, what's that Seven's grabbing for?
Hey, it feels like there's something in here.
You think we can cut through the rubber part? Damn it. Wrong click. Let's try cutting this organ with a scalpel. Organ key. There's a key in this organ.
Found a key and tore an organ.
Yibbee. Like I said, this episode is going to be a bitch.
What's this thing? It's got these short iron legs.
Maybe it's a heater? There's nothing inside it. Looks like it's probably a heater. There's nothing in it. There's a pipe going outside. Fake chest. Ew, that's gross.
This is the chest. It's a woman's chest. The heart's gone, but it's pretty hot.
If that kind of thing turns you on, Seven, you're a real creepo. Lol, gross. Anyway. There's a whole bunch of bottles on the shelves. They all look like medicine. They've got labels, but they're all big medical words I don't understand. A lot of different kinds of medication, it's hard to tell them apart. The drawer is empty. Yeah, nothing here. Maybe you're supposed to heat something like that gas to kill the bacteria? There's a boily thing over there. There's nothing on the ladle in the drawers. It's locked. Maybe we use key. Cool, it's unlocked. I think you hang your coat here. There's a bunch of hooks. There's a light bulb illuminating the room. Okay, now let's go. Let's see if... Huh. A piece of paper. What's this? Is it some kind of medical record? Fortunately, I remember this puzzle, so I'm not going to have to go through the things of writing down notes on paper. Medical record. It has the amount of weight, apparently, for kilograms of each body part. Medical record found in the preparation room. It has records for the two mannequins. There's a male mannequin named John and a female named Lucy. The records show each mannequin's total weight and the weight of their individual parts. I found a beaker. Oh, I remember that puzzle.
What the hell are you doing? Don't you want to get out of here?
But I'm tired.
What's this? A light switch? Doesn't seem to be working.
There's a lock on the door. The key I've got won't open it.
The sink. The doctors and nurses probably washed their hands here before an operation. Nothing suspicious here.
It won't open. Looks like it's locked. There's a red plate on it. Do you think that means something? Yes, it does. Awesome, it's unlocked. Oh, poo. I have to remember this part, though. Or I don't remember this part, though. There's a note on top of the table. Iron equals 1, salt equals 2, water equals 3, carbon dioxide equals question mark, as well as ammonia and ethanol. What do you think it's a hint for? Maybe it's got something to do with this box. Blue liquid. It looks like there's something inside that bottle.
Why don't you try pouring some out into the cap? Or into the cap?
Can't see any reason why not. What's that? It's bright blue. Do you think it's alien blood?
Where the hell did that come from?
Then what do you think it is, Seven?
I don't know. Some sort of special bath soap?
What a boring guess. And also this, red liquid. It looks like there's something inside that bottle.
Why don't you try pouring some out into the cap?
Can't see any reason why not. What's that? It's bright red. Do you think it's blood?
No, blood's thicker than that.
Then what is it?
Beats me.
Before we do that part, let's go ahead and do this part, because now I've got what we need. Hey, it turned red!
Forget about that. Did you hear something just now?
A beaker with red liquid in it. It makes the light that passes through it red. Okay. No. That bottle had red liquid in it.
Yeah, well, it's empty now.
Oh, okay. Leg.
The right foot of the medical mannequin. I guess it's a woman's foot, but damn, it doesn't look hot at all.
Have you got a thing for feet, Seven?
No, that's crazy.
You're sure acting kind of shady. Oh, la 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 la. Anyway. Blue liquid. It's blue now.
I think I heard another noise.
Now let's add the red liquid to it too.
I get it. You combine the red and blue liquid to make a purple one.
Good job, Junpei. The purple light came on and I heard it unlock. I'm sure it's unlocked. The locker with the purple plate's gotta be unlocked. Alright, let's see what happened. Right leg. Or left leg. This is the left foot of the mannequin. Do you think I'm better?
What?
Do you think my legs are skinnier? Gross. Fake stomach. This is a really big nose.
That's no nose. It's a stomach.
Oh, a stomach. Hold on, let's do this part that involves some mathematical shit. Hey, Junpei, you think there's any slugs on this ship?
Huh?
Well, if there are, I was thinking we could put salt on them. What's she pointing at? The label states NaCl. Salt. Huh. Do you think Seven will shrivel up if we put it on him?
Hey, you say something?
Junpei, there's a bottle of iron powder around the shelf. How do you know it's iron? The label says Fe. Fe stands for iron, right? Something stinks. Is it coming from this bottle? It says NH3.
Well, that of course stinks. It's ammonia. Oh, good stuff. Let's go for a drink.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about that bottle. It says C2H or H5OH, right?
It's ethanol.
That's right. It's also known as ethyl alcohol. It's pretty much what booze is made of.
So, you're gonna drink it?
Nah, I won't. It might say that's what it is on the label, but there could be anything on there. Hey, Junpei, there's dihydrogen monoxide on that shelf.
Why don't you just say water? What's this?
Looks like a can with a spray nozzle. It says CO2.
So it's a can filled with carbon dioxide. Now, I've got I'm not entirely sure what the thing is for this puzzle. I think it has to do with valence electrons, which fortunately and unfortunately, I guess, I took chemistry in my high school last year at the very end of the year. Carbon dioxide, question mark, ammonia, question mark, ethanol, question mark.
Well, look at the first line. Maybe question mark represents a number.
I think I had a thing for it before. Okay, iron is 1, salt is 2, water is 3. Okay, iron, I think it's just iron. Salt had Na and Cl, well, that's 2 things. Water has dihydrogen monoxide, which is basically 3 different atoms or whatever. So I think it has something to do with that. CO2 is carbon dioxide. Then ammonia is... shit, I don't remember what that is. Bottle of ammonia on the shelf. It says NH3. So, 4, I think. Bottle of ethanol on the shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, 349, I think. 349, 349, 349, 349. Let's give it a shot. 349. Enter. Yes! Found an arm and a heart. Fake right arm. It's the right arm of the body. It's kind of creepy. Fake heart. A heart. This thing is super creepy.
This ain't good for the heart.
Oh yeah, each puzzle has its own personal story time part. You think we should go back? Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Clover nodded and left. Junpei was about to follow her when he realized that Seven wasn't following suit. Hey Seven, what's up?
Well.
He looked up at throat. He looked up at Junpei distractedly and then back down at the brown bottle he held cupped in his large hands. What's that? In response, Seven tossed the bottle gently to Junpei. He caught it and twisted it around to read the label. Ethylene diamine tartrate? EDT, or EDT. It's tartaric ethylene diamine. What kind of medicine is that?
It's not a medicine. I think it's an industrial strength detergent.
Why would they have something like that here?
Well, probably to clean stuff up.
Clean what up?
Fuck if I know. Still, looks like it's cleaned my brain up.
Junpei looked up from the bottle. You remember something? Seven nodded slowly and spoke.
Well, I remember a story about ADT. Happened about 50 years ago. There was this factory somewhere in America making big old ADT crystals. And they were making it to sell as industrial strength cleaner like I told you before. But
I'm going to take a drink of my pop, which will at least, while carbonated and such, help unravel my throat a bit. Excuse me. I don't want to read this in Seven's voice without a drink of some sort.
A year after the factory started up, something strange started happening with the crystals they were building. Water molecules started attaching themselves to the EDT crystals. This made them into a sort of mutation of the original crystals called a hydrate. Once the crystal turns into a hydrate, though, it's useless as a cleaner. The factory had to just dump the crystals. As a hydrate, they were useless. But it didn't end there. After that day, the same thing started happening in EDT factories everywhere. Even ones nowhere near the first American factory. They'd been making crystals the same way with the same materials and the same equipment and environment. But now all of a sudden, every single crystal they formed turned into a hydrate. In fact, ever since that day, no factory anywhere has been able to make a pure EDT crystal. Even in EDT research done years before, they'd never gotten a hydrate. But after it happened at the first factory, it just spread. It was like, man, how do you say it?
Like the molecules were communicating with one another, transmitting information in a way humans couldn't perceive. This phenomena spread throughout the world, right? Junpei looked up at Seven with half a smirk. Seven stared at him, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. But how did you know?
I heard another story kind of like that one.
When?
In the freezer.
What? The freezer?
Junpei told Seven the story he'd heard from June in the freezer in the kitchen. How one day glycerin began to crystallize, and the story of ice that wouldn't melt at room temperature. When Junpei was done, Seven looked thoughtful and absent-mindedly rubbed the scar on his chin.
Ice that doesn't melt at room temperature, huh?
Sound familiar?
Yeah, hold up. I feel like I can remember something. It's right there.
Seven squinted. His eyes stared off into space as if he were trying desperately to focus on something far away. Do you know? There was either know something about it or no Ice 9. Being the person that's played through this about 9 times, it's a pun. Anyway, being the person that's played through this a lot, I'm going to choose Ice 9 because that will actually jog his memory a little bit more. Do you know about Ice 9?
Ice 9. Ice 9, Ice 9. ice, 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 baby.
Suddenly, Seven's eyes shot open.
That's it! I remember now! That woman! She's on this boat!
That woman?
Alice!
Who's Alice?
Come on, the woman who won't melt at room temperature!
It became clear to Seven that Junpei had no idea what he was talking about. He ran his hand across his face and took a deep breath.
You know how the Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, right?
Yeah? More than 1,500 people died. Worst maritime accident in history. What about it?
Did you hear about the boat that was sent to collect the dead bodies?
I think that was the RMS Carpathia, right? It was a cruise liner just like the Titanic.
No, that was the ship that picked up the survivors. The ship that collected the dead bodies was the CS McKay Bennett. McKay Bennett showed up on April 17th, 2 days after the accident, and set out from Halifax, a port in Canada, and recovered 306 dead bodies. The Atlantic that far north was really cold. It would have to be for there to be icebergs and stuff. Anyway, the bodies they pulled out of the water were frozen solid.
This isn't a very nice story. So, what happened next?
Well, they say the McKay Bennett recovered something more than just dead bodies. There were various bits of stuff floating around in the water. Things the drowned had carried with them, or stuff dislodged as the ship sank. One of the things they found was a coffin.
A coffin?
Yeah, a wooden one. The craftsman who made it must have been pretty skilled. It wasn't just a wooden coffin, it was all wood. There were no nails or reinforcements, and there were no caps in the woods anywhere. It was airtight. The crew got pretty curious about what might be inside it and opened it up. They had to get a wedge and hammer it open, it was so well made. Inside, they found a woman. Or I guess you could say they found the dead body of a woman. Her hair was thick and black, and her skin was deep brown and didn't show any signs of age or decomposition. They say that she looked gorgeous, like a goddess. She was obviously dead, but everyone who looked at her said she looked just like she was sleeping. Her skin was so lifelike, she looked like she might wake up at any minute. She didn't, though. Like the rest of the bodies they found, she was frozen solid. Eventually, the McKay Bennett finished the search and returned to Halifax. The 306 bodies were unloaded and taken ashore. However, it was warm enough that they began to melt. They say that the stink was horrible, but there was one body that didn't thaw.
The girl in the coffin.
That's right.
Everybody thought
for sure that she'd melt and start to rot like the rest of them eventually. But weeks passed and nothing happened. Then a month passed and another, and it was summer and she was still frozen solid. After a while, people started to say she was some sort of miracle. Rumors about the girl started to spread, and people came to visit Halifax from all over. After a while, people started to call her All Ice. Alice. Of course, those rumors didn't last long.
Why?
Well, she up and disappeared. One day Alice was there, the next day she wasn't. They say someone snuck into where they were keeping her and stole the body. With the body gone, the rumors followed pretty quickly, and after a while, no one remembered her. You might be able to find something about her if you could find a newspaper from back then, but that's about it.
Wait, you just said that she was on this boat.
Yeah, I did. Alice has got to be somewhere on the ship.
Now why the hell do you say something like that?
Because I know.
And just what is it you know?
What happened to Alice after she was stolen?
Junpei gulped. Alright, tell me. What happened to Alice? Seven nodded slowly and took on the look of a man recalling something long buried. Okay, this is Seven speaking, and I'll tell you when Junpei starts speaking, because fuck that voice for now. Well, around that time, the word was that there was a thriving black market in New York. I mean, I'm sure there still is, but this was special. All millionaires from all over the world. I've heard that Alice went up for auction there. The person who won the auction was Lord Dashiell Gordain. You've heard that name before, right? Then Junpei says, Sir Gordain. Isn't he the guy who brought the Gigantic? Bought the Gigantic, the Titanic sister ship? Seven speaks. Yeah, that's him. Although I guess he hadn't done that yet. What do you mean? Says Junpei. Seven. Gordain bought Alice in 1912. Then 4 years later, in 1916, he bought the Gigantic. And he hid Alice somewhere on the Gigantic, but nobody knows where. He died in 1931. and apparently he died without ever telling anyone where Alice was hidden. However, Junpei says, however, what? Seven says, well, he did have one close friend who asked him, where is Alice? And he said, Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge, beneath the navel of the gigantic. Junpei asks, what the hell is that? Some kind of riddle? Seven's all lack. Anyway, Seven says, your guess is as good as mine. Seven threw his hands up in defeat. So that's it. Whatever you think, I believe it. She's hidden somewhere on the gigantic. In other words, she's hidden somewhere on this ship. Junpei. Before Junpei could dispute Seven's rather bizarre claim, they heard Clover's voice from the door. She did not sound pleased. Hey! What are you two doing over there? Stop wasting your time and get over here.
Okay, we're coming.
Seven looked at Junpei.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the story. Might be useful someday. Don't forget it.
With that cryptic remark, he turned and left the room. Junpei was left behind to ponder what he'd just heard. He tried to remember what June had told him earlier. That mummy wasn't just a normal mummy. They say that she was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery, all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic, and even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted. Was that the Egyptian priestess Alice? Had the water in her body become Ice 9? No, that's nuts. There's no way somebody like that could exist. Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to clear it, and followed Seven to the operating room where Clover was waiting. Alright, let's do this shit. Okay, so we've collected the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. So the ones we've got must be for Lucy, right? Yeah. Seems like it.
It seems like it.
Well, I say we give Lucy your parts back. Any objections? No?
Agreed.
Alright, let's get started.
Combine!
I don't know why I clicked file. Oh yeah. This puzzle is based on the medical records, which shows you how much each part for them should weigh. And that John should weigh 51.3 kilograms, and Lucy should weigh 53.2 kilograms. Hey, nothing's happened.
That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight?
Weight?
Yeah, well, you know there's a scale on the side of the bed.
Maybe we need to get the scale to a specific number.
How are we going to do that?
I think we're supposed to swap her body parts with John's. Oh. Let's give it a shot. Operating instructions. The screen below displays 2 medical mannequins. You can switch their body parts by touching the part you want to switch out, and then the part you want to switch in. There we go.
Hey, Junpei, I just heard something. It came from John's operating table. Better check it out.
This is the puzzle. Just replace everything but the heart. Huh? The lid on the scale. Hey, it opened! Oh, I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weights to what's on the chart. Jupiter key. There's a mark engraved on this key. I think it's the Jupiter symbol. Is that the only item we've got now? Or that and the purple liquid? That bottle has purple liquid in it. Okay, that was sweet and to the point. Now then. There's a symbol engraved over the keyhole. Hey, this is the Jupiter symbol.
Hey, wasn't this Jupiter symbol engraved on the keyhole by the other door?
Other door? The door at the end of the hallway with all those rooms. You think
maybe this door and that door use the same key?
Maybe. The door's keyhole. There's a Jupiter symbol engraved here. Oh, whoop. I forgot to equip the key. Now then.
Hey, hold on.
Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob. What's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh? Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. God damn it, where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute, I'll go get her.
Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin. Hey Clover, what's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here. She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead. What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John? It wasn't the best joke, but it was something, an attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing. Hey, Clover, can you hear me? Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened and she whispered in a dry, dead voice. My brother might be dead. Huh? That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead, who's gonna be next? Suddenly the operating room felt very, very cold. What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? He gave her a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier. Junpei, what do you want to do? There's the choices of told Clover they need to leave, or gave her the 4-leaf clover, which is pretty obvious what is the good Samaritan type thing to do. Oh yeah, he didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something had been given earlier. He reached into his pocket and dug it out. A 4-leaf clover. Santa had given it to him in the second-class room. He held it out to Clover. Did you know that each leaf on the 4-leaf clover means something? Hope, faith, love, and luck. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm. He pressed the 4-leaf clover into her hand. Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Snake, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive, somewhere, I'm sure of it. You just gotta believe in that. Clover stared at the 4-leaf clover in her hand. He could see tears start to form at the corners of her eyes. Thank you. Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Her tears made small wet circles on the floor. Thank you, she said it again. Then she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage. Now come on, someone's waiting for us at the exit. But still she didn't move. Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you. What's that? What do you think when you hear the word experiment? For a moment his mind froze. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him aside from the dictionary definition. What? Huh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. That you knew about the 4-leaf clover. Look, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a jerk, but you're making less than no sense right now. Oh, no, it's nothing. Just forget about it. Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about? Clover looked away. The 4-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then finally spoke. You promise you won't tell anyone? Cross my heart. Really? Really? Really. I can trust you, right? Of course you can. Clover slipped the 4-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei. Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on the ship 9 years ago. Wait! On this ship? Yeah, this ship. He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best he thought to save them until Clover had finished. It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Something about communicating through these fields you can't see. Fields that you can't see. He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded. Think about this. She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another mannequin. This is John, right? But is he really John? All Junpei would think of was she'd finally completely lost it. Isn't this like Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus? Junpei grew even more confused. He'd never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart. You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes? Junpei shook his head. Clover laughed. Okay, well, pay attention then. This is how Locke's socks works. Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks. One of them gets a hole in it. What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei? Patch it up. There's patch it up or throw it away. And I wouldn't do either because I can deal with a sock with a hole in it. And I don't really have favorite socks. Well, I guess I'd patch it up. Get some cloth and close up the hole. But what if another hole opens? Put on another patch, I suppose. What if another hole opened after that? Another patch, I guess? Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches, until eventually the original cloth of the sock is totally gone. Once you get to that point, can you really say that they're the same socks you started with? That's tough. Junpei crossed his arms. So that's the Locke socks thing? Yeah. The ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of the ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with. Can you really say that ship is the ship of Theseus that you started with? And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired or the one you built with all the original parts? It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued. Hey, do you think it's the same? What's the same? These guys. Is it John? Or is it Lucy now? Junpei looked at the operating table again. A mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like Locke's socks in the ship of Theseus. The parts of the body that holds a person's identity is the head. Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart, or any of a number of internal organs. John's head and heart were both his, but apart from that and a single arm, the rest of his body had once been Lucy's. Was that mannequin really John? We're just like these mannequins. She looked at Junpei again. Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die and new ones are born. Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once. Maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right? That's how we're all connected. Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye. The silence was broken by Sam.
Hey! What the hell is taking you two so long?
Seven's head appeared in the doorway. He was not happy.
How long are you gonna make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
Oh? What were you two doing? Is this some sort of secret meeting?
No, it wasn't. We were just playing with the mannequins.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei. Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed towards the exit. Seven stared after her, then turned to Junpei with an amused expression.
Playing with mannequins, huh? Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
You're a dick. Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out of the door. That is one of my favorite parts in this game. I don't entirely know why. I suppose I mostly know why. But... ... You're a dick. With a short laugh, Seven followed. They stood looking at the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key. Alright, I'm gonna open it now. That cool?
You don't need to keep asking. Just do it, alright?
Fine then. He slid the key into the keyhole and turned it. He felt it unlock. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it. Alright, let's get going.
Hey man, what's up with you? So serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy? You know, get a little excited?
Not really. Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway. My brother might be dead. I'm gonna be next. Clover told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead and she was likely to follow him. How could he pretend to be happy after hearing something like that?
You found it!
They left the operating room. Let's save now. Sounds of footsteps that are not syncopated. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but anyway, that was part 8. And I will see you next time on part 9. Until then,
Peace!